Kicking it off is a real interesting group, the Limeliters. Some of you may have heard of them, all right? So I can't introduce them without giving you the history of the Limeliters, at least briefly. So the Limeliters were started back in 1959. Let's see, who was all in that group? Some of you know this by heart. Lou Gottlieb, Glenn Yarborough, and who was the other one? Yeah, Alex Hasselov. Thank you. So that was back in 1959. So that's over 60 years ago. They're called the Limeliters because they were playing in a bar in Aspen called the Limelight, and it stuck with them. And within months, they became a national sensation. Of course, this was during the folk revival of the 60s. So all of a sudden, now they're on equal stages and equal billing with the Weavers, Peter, Paul, and Mary, and the Kingston Trio and others. And so some of you remember this, right? But there were some people that came along and played with them along the way, and those folks kept the band going, all right? And one of those happens to be Andy Corwin, who you're going to meet tonight if you don't already know Andy. He's a longtime friend of Kerrville, the festival, on stage and off. So Andy joined the group around 2003, 2004 with the Limeliters. He got to play with Glenn and Alex. And then time goes on and more people come and go, and Andy's either going to be alone or he's got to find somebody to replace Glenn and Alex. So who does he turn to but the campground at Kerrville? So here we are, 62 years later, one of the most famous groups of the folk revival is made up of a whole bunch of Kerrville comrades, right? And you get to see them here tonight and then jam with them in the campground. So please welcome our own Limeliters.
Good to see you.
Gentlemen,
Welcome home.
start your engines. 1, 2, 3, 4. I've been doing some hard traveling. I thought you know. I've been doing some hard traveling way down the road. I've been doing some hard traveling, hard rambling, hard gambling. I've been doing some hard traveling, Lord. On my journey now to Mount Zion, 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 on Mount Zion, take nothing to Mount Zion, on my journey now Mount Zion. I've been hitting that Lincoln Highway, I thought you know. I've been hitting that 66 way down the road. Heavy load and a worried mind, looking for a woman that's hard to find. I've been doing some hard traveling, Lord. On my journey now to Mount Zion, 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 take nothing, on my journey now, on my journey now Mount Zion.
On my journey now to Mount Zion, my time is near. The road is hard and the way is long. I have no fear. On my journey now to Mount Zion, where the lamb lies down with the lion, I've been doing some hard traveling, Lord.
I've been doing some hard traveling, I thought you know. I've been doing some hard traveling way down the road. I've been doing some hard rambling, I've been doing some hard gambling, I've been doing some hard traveling, Lord.
I am a poor, wayfaring stranger, traveling through this world of woe. But there's no sickness, no toil or danger in that bright land to which I go. I'm going there to see my father. I'm going my new home.
To my new home.
I am a poor wayfaring stranger.
I am a weary and a lonesome traveler. I am a weary and a lonesome traveler. I am a weary and a lonesome traveler. I've been a traveling on. I've traveled near and I have traveled yonder. I've traveled near and I have traveled yonder. I've traveled near and I have traveled yonder. I've been a traveling on.
I've traveled cold and I have traveled hungry, Lord. I've traveled cold and I have traveled hungry, Lord. I've traveled cold and I have traveled hungry, Lord. I've been a traveling on.
And I've traveled in the mountains, traveled down in the valley, Lord. I've traveled in the mountains, traveled down in the valley, Lord. I've traveled in the mountains, traveled down in the valley, Lord. I've been a traveling on. And I've traveled with the rich and traveled with the poor. I've traveled with the rich and traveled with the poor. I've traveled with the rich and traveled with the poor. I've been a traveling on. One of these days I'm gonna stop all my traveling. One of these days I'm gonna stop all my traveling. One of these days I'm gonna stop all my traveling. Stop all my traveling on. Gonna keep right on traveling on that road to freedom. Gonna keep right on a traveling on that road to freedom. Gonna keep right on a traveling on that road to freedom. Gonna keep right on traveling on. Thank you. Thank you so much. We are the Limeliters. And we are delighted to be here with you all, celebrating songwriters at the Kerrville Folk Festival 2021. Welcome home, everybody. That, of course, was a medley of the sorts of songs that have kept the Limeliters perilously close to solvency since 1959. That's right, this band is 14,000 years old. But David mentioned, of course, that the three of us are not the original Limeliters. That was Lou Gottlieb and Alex Hasselev and Glenn Yarbrough. Although, on the other hand, we were the original Spice Girls. A lot of people don't know that. But they recently dropped the charges, so we can talk about it now.
So, Andy, what was your nickname?
The Spice Girls?
Yeah.
I was Fat Harry Spice.
Ah.
That was my moniker. Anyway, that song, Woody Guthrie, Lee Hayes, and Anonymous were the songwriters of that medley.
Oh, he got around.
Anonymous wrote a lot. But we'd like to feature a more contemporary songwriter right now, our very own Daniel Bowling,
Okay, thank you.
who was a New Folk winner in, 2014, right?
14, that's right.
2014, Dan Bowling, all the way from New Mexico. Tell them about the song we're going to do.
Well, so it's been a few years ago, but my father was living in his own little house in Aztec, New Mexico, and he had Parkinson's, and it got to the point where he just couldn't manage on his own anymore. So one Christmas, we got all the adults in the family together and moved him to Indiana. But what it meant was taking apart the family house of decades and figuring out what to do with all that stuff. Does that sound familiar? Yeah. Well, here's how it went for our family. Sleeves rolled up, work gloves on, a dust mask on my face. It's time to sort and pack and load and ship my papa's place. Chunks of chain, hunks of board, a couple dozen scriptures of the Lord. Things we can't, things we must. Under 40 years of dust. waders with the feet cut off, hanging on the wall of my dad's garage. I don't know what he kept them for, but I'm pretty sure he never wore those chest waders with the feet cut off, unless maybe he lost his mind. But when somebody goes through things of mine, no telling just what they'll find.
That throne-shaped toilet paper holder really reeks of class.
This Victorian-era serving tray with dead moths under glass.
What to keep, what to throw, who the heck is ever gonna know? What we pitch, what we save, take that secret to my grave.
Play magic fingers.
But Grandpa wired with these pliers, I'll keep them for sure.
And this pistol, mama's daddy carried in the war.
What to do with all of this stuff? Every house already has enough.
Give a bunch of things away.
Pity our own kids someday. There's chest waders with the feet cut off, hanging on the wall of my dad's garage. I don't know what he kept them for, but I'm pretty sure he never wore those chest waders with the feet cut off, unless maybe he lost his mind. But when somebody goes through things of mine, no telling just what they'll find. 'Cause I've got pay stubs clear back to the 60s.
Blue jeans that no longer fit me.
Bags of rusty used guitar strings.
Projects left undone.
Fallout from a jack of all trades.
Junk that hasn't budged in decades.
In my mind, the choir sings. You are your father's son.
Daniel Bowling! He baffles science. Actually, I got to tell you a quick story. The last year and a half, of course, we've kind of been stranded all at home, and we weren't able to get together. But what we did the next best thing. We all got green screens and video cameras, and we all filmed ourselves singing that song. And in my other life, I'm a video editor, so I put together this video, which is on YouTube. If you're interested in checking it out, if you go to our website, www.limeliters.com, you'll find it. It's really cute because Daniel's sister is a wonderful artist, and she made this beautiful pen and ink drawing of Dad's garage. So I was able to put us in like a little cartoon.
Yeah, you gotta see
and we
it.
had a lot of fun with it. Anyways, speaking of the internet, this kind of happened to us a couple of years ago. Who remembers the television show Breaking Bad? Anybody? 4 people. Nobody else will admit to having ever watched it, I guess.
Based in Albuquerque, my hometown.
That's in the TV show Breaking Bad, in the last season of Breaking Bad, in the penultimate episode, at the dramatic high point of the show, the producers decided to use this old Limeliters tune recorded by Alex, Lou, and Glenn back in the early 60s. It wasn't one that was in our repertoire, but it was this love song that they used on the soundtrack of Breaking Bad, kind of, I guess, for ironic reasons. And it was kind of caught on. Somebody excerpted the song and put it on YouTube. And we kind of watched it as it accumulated viewings. And when it got up to about 1 million viewings, I said to the guys, we should probably learn this one. So we're going to do that for you right now. Our big hit song, it's called Take My True Love by Her Hand. And for those of you who might be sitting alongside your true love, you might want to hold hands for this one. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Times are getting hard, boys. Money's getting scarce. Times don't get no better, boys. Gonna leave this place. Take my true love by her hand. Lead her through the town. Say goodbye to everyone. Goodbye to everyone.
Had a job a year ago, had a little home. Now I've got no place to go. Guess I'll have to roam.
Take my true love by her hand. Lead her through the town. Say goodbye to everyone. Goodbye to everyone.
Every wind that blows, boys, every wind that blows carries me to some new place. Heaven only knows.
Take my true love by her hand. Lead her through the town. Say goodbye to everyone. Goodbye to everyone.
Times are getting hard.
Times are getting
Times are getting
Money's getting
Times
scarce.
don't get no better.
Don't get no
Times don't leave this place.
Take my true love by her hand. Lead her through the town. Say goodbye to everyone. Goodbye to everyone. Say goodbye to everyone.
Goodbye to everyone.
Thank you. That's our hit. 1 million views, 2 million views. Daniel just told me it's up to 2 million views on YouTube now. Woohoo! So I'm curious, how many here, show of hands, how many people here remember the 20th century? Quite a few, okay. My peeps. I'm a baby boomer, you see. I'm a baby boomer. Yeah. And this is a song I wrote, this is kind of a baby boomer anthem. I wrote this one as a birthday present to myself when I turned 50. We in tune here? Okay, okay. Are we ready? And 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have a single pierced body part. I don't have any tattoos. I'm out of step with everything that's state of the art, but I'm not singing the blues. Now you might call it old-fashioned, but I don't see it that way. I prefer to think of it as the cutting edge of passe.
Now I'm no fan of computers, cell phones or fax machines.
I remember those.
Don't talk to me about HTML. I don't even know what that means. Call me technologically challenged, but spare me your dismay. 'Cause we're content to stay out here on the cutting edge of passe. We're on the cutting edge of passe, keeping the modern world at bay.
Blazing a trail to yesterday.
Hey, what more can we say?
Say we're a middle-aged cliche, and what's more, we like it that way, and we intend to stay on the cutting edge of passe.
I still believe that folk songs can be a force for good, inspiring the masses to seek peace and brotherhood.
Peace and brotherhood.
You might choose to accuse us of naivete, but
We're prepared to take a stand on the cutting edge of passe. On the cutting edge of passe. Andy Corwin, Kerrville New Folk winner, 2005.
2005, yeah.
Nick, could you give me just a little bit of my guitar in the monitor? I'm a little low. Thanks.
Speaking of songwriters, this one was written by a kind of an old-time songwriter by the name of Gene Raskin. And he was a friend of Lou Gottlieb's. Back in the early 60s, Gene Raskin called Lou on the phone. He said, I've written this new song, and it's for the Limeliters. I had you guys in my head as I was writing, and I was hearing Limelighter harmonies. This is a perfect song for you guys. It's going to be a big hit. I took an old Russian folk melody, and I added new English lyrics to it. And the song is called Those Were the Days.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a hit.
Well, it wasn't a hit when the Limeliters did it, though.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, the Limelight, it was a good song. It was a good song, but the Limeliters did it. It wasn't a hit. It wasn't until about 6 years later that Paul McCartney got a hold of it, and he produced the version that you've all heard, the one with Mary Hopkins. That was put out on Apple Records in 1969. Yes, you know the song I'm talking about. We're going to do it the Limelighter style, though. And, okay.
We're good.
And I think, given the momentous occasion, Stephen, could you maybe kick us off with something kind of, I don't know, fancy?
Fancy?
Yeah.
Now this?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You can
Something
do
like
it. I
this?
know you can do it.
Try this. That's enough for you?
Love it.
All right. Once upon a time, there was a tavern where we used to raise a glass or two.
Or 3 or 4.
Remember how we laughed away the hours and dreamed of all the great things we would do. Those were the
Days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. We lived the life we choose. We fight and never lose. For we were young and sure to have our way.
Then the busy years went rushing by us. We lost our starry notions on the way.
Did you check all your pockets?
If by chance I'd see you in the tavern, we'd smile at one another and we'd say, those were the
Days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. We lived the life we choose. We fight and never lose. For we were young and sure to have our way. Just today, I stood before the tavern. Nothing seemed the way it used to be. In the glass I saw a strange reflection. Was that lonely stranger really me? Apparently. Those were the days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. We lived the life we choose. We'd fight and never lose. For we were young and sure to have our way.
laughter. I saw your face and heard you call my name.
Oh, my friends were older, but no wiser.
For
In our hearts the dreams are still the same.
those were the
Days, my friend, we thought they'd never end. We'd sing and dance forever and a day. We lived a life we choose, we fight and never lose. For we were young and sure to have our way. Lie, 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 lie. If you know the words, sing along. Lie, 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 lie. We lived the life we choose, we fight and never lose. Those were the days, my friend. Those were the days. Those were the days. Lately, we've been doing a lot of these kind of folky revival, 60s revival folk shows, along with our good friends in the Brothers Four and the Kingston Trio. And they bill it as the trifecta of folk.
It's fun.
And it's fun. We have a great time. But they're fun. We kid around about it. We're all great friends. And in fact, one of the Kingston Trio guys used to be in the Limeliters. But we know, for instance, that, you know, the Kingston Trio, they have to play all the hits whenever they appear. We can do whatever we want, but they have to play their hits. And we know that whenever they play, they're going to play that song. You know the one I mean?
That song.
You know the one I mean?
The one about the perils of public transportation.
The one, yeah. The one about the guy who gets on the subway in Boston, and he can't get off the subway because he doesn't have a nickel, right?
He only has credit cards.
Did he ever return? No, Charlie and the MTA. Well, a couple of years ago, Steve and I were sitting in his backyard, enjoying a couple of mint juleps, if memory serves. And after a few mint juleps, we decided that that song needed an update. It needed an update badly because it failed to address the existential dilemmas encountered by contemporary travelers.
Not to mention, Charlie simply had not suffered enough abuse yet.
We wanted to torture Charlie some more. So we updated the song. Now, instead of Charlie and the MTA, we'd like to present the story of Charlie and the TSA.
Let me tell you all a story about a man named Charlie tried to fly out of JFK. He was 2 hours early, but before he boarded, had to pass through the TSA.
As he waited in line, he had a chance to read the sign that told him things he'd better not do. But unbeknownst to Charlie, they had changed the regulations. He was carrying too much shampoo.
And did he ever return? No, he never returned. And his fate is still unlearned.
He missed his flight, he's gonna miss the next one.
He's the man who never returned.
First they fingerprinted Charlie, ran lie detector, then they pulled his credit score up. Ran his license, his passport, his high school transcript. They made him pee in a cup.
Then they strip searched Charlie, probed his body cavities,
Ouch.
tested his DNA. When he asked for his lawyer, they said,
Sorry, Charlie.
you can call from Guantanamo Bay.
And did he ever return? No, he never returned. And his fate is still unlearned.
Now they're holding him in indefinite detention.
He's the man who never returned.
Now all you citizens who fly, better heed this fable. The moral's very plain.
Next time you travel, remember poor Charlie. It's faster to take the train.
Or you may never return, you may never return.
That's the lesson Charlie learned.
Now they're moving him to an undisclosed location.
He's the man who never returned.
But you can see his face upon an old milk carton. He's a man who never returned.
Charlie and the TSA.
Poor Charlie.
Steve and I wrote that a few years ago. We're going to feature Steve right now. Steve is a very prolific songwriter. Also, do you know this about Steve? He is the pun champion of the world. The 6-time winner of the O. Henry Pun-Off in Austin, Texas.
Don't try this at home, kids.
That's right. So, okay, Steve, what do you got?
Well, about 30 years ago, there was this gig I was supposed to be playing at a coffee house on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Only thing was that the folks who owned the coffee house just completely spaced out the gig and no one ever showed up to unlock the door. So while I
Who
was...
hasn't had that happen?
We all have, yes. So while I was waiting around for absolutely nothing to happen, I wandered over to the beach just a couple of blocks away. And I spent a while sitting out at the end of a pier looking at this beautiful night sky full of December stars that were hanging over the dark waters of the Gulf of Mexico. And it turned out that that night was not a complete waste. In fact, it was very productive because I got the inspiration for this song while I was looking at those stars. It's called A Single New Star. Thank you. When I was a young man, I used to go walking at midnight. Some things appear clearest to eyes that are blinded by daylight. I looked to the sky and I'd search for a sign that would show me the road to be taken, till a single new star rearranged a whole constellation. We search for a path makes the wilderness safer. We follow our maps, but our maps are just made out of paper. It's only our minds that keep drawing these lines, and it's only our hearts can erase them when a single new star rearranges a whole constellation. Our watches we set by the sun, but our hearts run on moon time. We pray that some miracle comes, turning night into noontime. But the only true miracles I've ever seen are those sudden and silent occasions when a single new star rearranges a whole constellation. not a young man, but still that old midnight keeps calling. I still follow a star, even when all my stars are apart. Till the stars fade from view and the whole world seems new in the light of the morning that's breaking. When a single new star,
A single new star
rearranges the whole
a single new star,
a single new star,
constellations of
a single new star rearranges a whole
constellation.
Steve Brooks!
Thank you so much.
He baffles science! The songwriter we'd like to pay tribute to next is that really extraordinary fellow. Who here remembers Stan Rogers? Quite a few of you. For those that don't, Stan Rogers was a Canadian folk singer, considered by many to really be the folk singer's folk singer. He wrote many songs about the maritime provinces of Canada. And he played here at the Kerrville Folk Festival. Sadly, he spent the last night of his life here on the ranch. I think it was 1983. When he was on his way back to Canada, the flight that he was on caught fire. And the cabin filled with smoke, and the plane had to make an emergency landing in Cincinnati. Stan Rogers was one of the people who was able to get off the plane, but he went back in to help other people. And the story I was told, I think Javier told me, that the story was that he went back into the plane 3 times, but he only came out twice. Yeah. And we lost a very, very brave man way too soon that night. But we'd like to do a song by Stan that the Limeliters have been doing for quite a few years. It's actually set in the Great Lakes, Lake Huron, I believe.
That's right.
Outside the small fishing town of Wyerton, Ontario. And the song is called White Squall. 1, 2, 3. Well, it's just my luck to have the watch with nothing left to do but watch the deadly waters rise as we roll north to the Sioux, and wonder when they'll turn again and pitch us to the rail and whirl off one more youngster in the gale. The kid was so damn eager, it was all so big and new. We never had to tell him twice or find him work to do. Evenings on the mess deck, he was always first to sing. Showed us pictures of the girl he'd wed in spring. Oh, we told that kid 100 times, don't take the lakes for granted. They can go from calm to 100 knots, so fast they seem enchanted. But tonight some red-eyed Wyerton girl lies staring at the wall, and her lover's gone into the white squall. It's a thing that us old-timers know. In the sultry summer squall, there comes a blow from nowhere, and it goes off like a bomb. And a 16,000-tonner can get throwed upon her beam, while the gale takes all before it with a scream. The kid was on the hatches, lying staring at the sky. From where I stood, I swear I could see tears fall from his eye. So I hadn't the heart to tell him that he should be on the line, even on a night so warm and fine. Oh, we told that kid 100 times, don't take the lakes for granted. They can go from calm to 100 knots, so fast they seem enchanted. But tonight some red-eyed Wyerton girl lies staring at the wall, and her lover's gone into the white squall. When it hit, it sat up with a start. I roared to him, get down. But for all that he could hear, I might as well not made a sound. So I clung there to the stanchion, and I felt my face grow pale as she crawled hand over hand along the rail. Then I could feel it keeling over with the fury of the blow. I watched the rail go under then, so terrible and slow. Then like some great dog she shook herself and roared upright again. Far overside I heard him call my name. Oh, we told that kid 100 times, don't take the lakes for granted. They can go from calm to 100 knots, so fast they seem enchanted. But tonight some red-eyed Wyerton girl lies staring at the wall, and her lover's gone into the white squall. Well, it's just my luck to have the watch with nothing left to do but watch the deadly waters rise as we roll north to the Sioux, and wonder when they'll turn again and pitch us to the rail and whirl off one more youngster in the gale. Stan Rogers. Thank you very much. Well, as many of you know, Kerrville, Texas, and particularly the Quiet Valley Ranch, has a long and proud history of Yiddish folk music. So I'd like to do a Yiddish folk song for you right now. For everybody that's been waiting for a sing-along all night, could sing along in Yiddish. This is a song that's goes way back. It was on the very first Limeliter album in 1960. And the song is called Jean Koya. It happens to be one of my very favorite vocal arrangements created by the late, great Lou Gottlieb, whose shoes I am privileged to be standing in tonight. Jean Koya.
I thought they looked like the wrong size.
Yeah,
You really ought to change those shoes, Andy.
They hurt like hell. They don't fit, but I'll wear them anyway. Jean Koya. Jean Koya is a name of a town in the Crimea, in the Ukraine. It was a Jewish enclave, this town, and it was a market town where farmers would bring their produce and their livestock. The song, which dates from sometime in the 1930s, I think, was, it extols the values of community and brotherhood and the pastoral life of the farmer. We'd like now to present for your listening pleasure, viewing pleasure for everybody that's watching on Facebook and
Yes,
YouTube.
indeed.
Hello out there. For your listening pleasure, Jean Koya. 1, 2, 3, 4.
If you're going to Sevastopol on your way to Simferopol, just you go a little further down. There's a little railway station known to men throughout the nation called Jean Koya, Jean. Hey Jean Koya, hey Jean Billy, hey Jean Koya, in Jean Koya, Jean. Hey Jean Koya, hey Jean Billy, hey Jean Koya, in Jean Koya, Jean.
Auf den Volkheim Sevastopol, dies nicht weit von Simferopol, dorten Caesar Stancia Havaran.
It's easier for you to say.
Fährt auf solche nahe Glicken, Caesar Stancia an Antikel, in Jean Koya, Jean.
Hey Jean Koya, hey Jean Billy, hey Jean Koya, in Jean Koya, Jean. Hey Jean Koya, hey Jean Billy, hey Jean Koya, in Jean Koya, Jean, Jean, Jean.
Ein Benzin auf mein Kasche, wie's mein Bride, wie sie Brasche. Es geht bei ein der Traktor wie a Bahn. Der Himalaya, bei der Kasilka, Mele bei der Moletilka. In Jean Koya, Jean, Jean, Jean.
Hey Jean Koya, hey Jean Billy, hey Jean Koya, in Jean Koya, Jean, Jean, Jean. Hey Jean Koya, hey Jean Billy, hey Jean Koya, in Jean Koya, Jean, Jean, Jean.
Live together all as brothers, Jew and Gentile, white and black man, for a better world to come. In this world, a world that's good, man will find some brotherhood, as in John Koya, John, John, John.
Hey Jean Koya, hey Jean Billy, hey Jean Koya, in Jean Koya, Jean, Jean, Jean. Hey Jean Koya, hey Jean Billy, hey Jean Koya, in Jean Koya, Jean, Jean, Jean. Hey Jean Koya, hey Jean Billy, hey Jean Koya, in Jean Koya, Jean, Jean, Jean. Hey Jean Koya, hey Jean Billy, hey Jean Koya, in Jean Koya, Jean, Jean, Jean.
Jean Koya. Thank you all so much. We are so thrilled to be here. We're so thrilled to be here with you all. And we've got one more song for you, and very fittingly, one of our very, very favorite songwriters wrote this one. A fellow who left us way too early. Who here remembers Phil Oakes? This is a song that Phil wrote when he was still a college student at no, was it Kent State? It was Ohio State. Ohio State. I had a senior moment there for a second, sorry. And we're in tune, okay. The song is called The Power and Glory.
Come on and take a walk with me through this green and growing land. Walk through the meadows and the mountains and the sand. Walk through the valleys and the rivers and the plains. Walk through the sun and walk through the rain. Here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Her glory shall rest on us all. From Colorado, Kansas, and the Carolinas to Virginia and Alaska, from the old to the new, Texas and Ohio and the California shore. Tell me who could ask for more. Here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Her glory shall rest on us all. Ah, but she's only as rich as the poorest of the poor.
Only as free as a padlocked prison door.
Only as strong as our love for this land.
Only as tall as we stand. Here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Her glory shall rest on us all.
But now our country's troubled by men who love to hate. They twist away our freedom and they twist away our fate. Fear is their weapon, fake news is their cry.
We can stop them if we try. Here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Her glory shall rest on us all. Come on and take a walk with me through this green and growing land. Walk through the meadows and the mountains and the sand. Walk through the valleys and the rivers
flames. Walk through the sun and walk through the rain. Here is a land full of power and glory, beauty that words cannot recall. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Her glory shall rest on us all. Oh, her power shall rest on the strength of her freedom. Her glory shall rest on us all. On us all. Thank you!
Thank you, folks.
Thank you, Kerrville! Come on back out here. Where'd they go? All right, I guess I'm playing solo. Oh, there he is. Real quick.
I got caught in the carpet, sorry.
Got caught in the
The curtain.
Real quick, we're going to do one more, and we're going to invite you to sing along. On this one, another one of our very, very favorite songwriters, and he's a fellow who actually I had the pleasure of meeting several times. One of my folk singing heroes, Harry Chapin. Who remembers Harry Chapin? Sing along with us, won't you, on Circle.
All my life's a circle, sunrise and sundown. The moon rolls through the nighttime till the daybreak comes around. All my life's a circle, but I can't tell you why. Seasons spinning round again, years keep rolling by. Sing that with us, would you? It's all my life's a circle. Just follow these guys, they know it.
All my life's a circle.
Sunrise and sundown.
Sunrise and sundown.
Moon rolls through the nighttime.
Moon rolls through the night
Till the daybreak comes
Till
around.
the daybreak comes
All
around.
my life's a circle,
All my life's a
but
circle.
I can't tell you why.
But I can't tell you why.
Seasons spinning round again.
Seasons spinning
Years
round
keep
again.
rolling by.
The years keep rolling
Boy, it
by.
sounds great to hear Kerrville singing. Seems like I've been here before, but I can't remember when. But I get this funny feeling that we'll all be together again. 'Cause no straight lines make up my life. All my roads have bends. No clear-cut beginnings, and so far, no dead ends. Here we go, all my life. All my life's a circle, sunrise and sundown. Moon rolls through the nighttime till the daybreak comes around. All my life's a circle, but I can't tell you why. Seasons spinning round again, years keep rolling by. Well, I've found you 1,000 times, or at least 49. I guess you've done the same. But then we lose each other. It's just like some children's game. But as I find you here again, the thought rolls through my mind. Our love is like a circle. Let's go round one more time. Here we go, all my life. All my life's a circle. Sunrise and sundown. Moon rolls through the nighttime till the daybreak comes around.
seasons spinning around again. The years keep rolling by. And the years keep on rolling by.
Welcome
Thank
home.
you
Thank
again.
y'all.
Thanks so much. Thanks to everybody
Thank
that
you.
worked so hard to put this together. Despite overwhelming odds, we salute you. Welcome home.